Tonight, a recently terminated employee of the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office is speaking out against Sheriff Garry McFadden. This comes just 2 weeks after McFadden's Chief Deputy Kevin Canty resigned in a scathing letter calling the sheriff's leadership toxic, saying he uses racist language and that McFadden runs the department as a third world dictatorship. The sheriff posting a public apology yesterday about the language used. The employee says she was fired and retaliated against for raising concerns about the sheriff's practices. WCNC Charlotte's Austin Walker sat down one-on-one with her. The ex-employee calling her short-term inside the office unpredictable. Tonight, the sheriff's office responds.
Less than 1 year on the job, Angelia Riggsbee fired from the Mecklenburg County Sheriff's Office. In this letter for her termination, it does not disclose a reason why, but in our one-on-one interview, she explains she has a reason she believes. She says in August, the sheriff asked her to modify a public records request, this one right here, something she says she wouldn't do because it was unethical. Taking us back to her first meeting, working underneath Mecklenburg County Sheriff Garry McFadden.
March the 20th of 2024.
Angelia Riggsbee hired as the Director of Business Operations at the Sheriff's Office. At first, excited for this career advancement.
I had so much hope of making positive change.
But soon, that hope broken.
I was like, is this how it typically is? They were like, oh yeah, just wait. And I was like, wow, what have I gotten myself into?
Riggsbee says for the first few months, she recalls the way she says the sheriff treats his staff.
The environment is so toxic. It's so, the bullying, the insults, the racial slurs, because I've heard those.
Caught on recording.
That white captain, I don't know who that.
When he doesn't like you or you don't kiss the ring, everything that Kevin Canty put in his letter is absolutely correct. He runs that facility and he runs the organization as a dictatorship.
Fast forward to August, Riggsbee says she was asked to compile information for a records request detailing the sheriff's travel spending. She sent it off to the sheriff's assistant, Shelby Jones.
And then she responded back on the 1st and said, this is a detailed report for Concur, but he doesn't want to submit it.
And then that's when that phone call came in.
And that's when the phone call came in.
On the phone, Riggsbee says she was asked to modify the records request, something she had an issue with.
McFadden said, get Riggsbee to do it. And I said, Rigsbee's not doing it. So I refused the directive of the sheriff because to me it's unethical.
Following the conversation, former Chief Deputy Canty telling WCNC Charlotte the sheriff asked Canty to fire Riggsbee multiple times, but never did.
So I had a meeting with him, and in that meeting, he began to belittle me. He began to insult me. He began to berate me. I'm not a crier, but he had me in tears. And I was like, you act like you don't want me here, but sir, you hired me.
At the beginning of November, his chief deputy resigning in a scathing letter, which then followed by Riggsbee and another employee's termination.
This is the letter of termination that I received.
One she believes the direct result of not modifying a public records request.
It was war. He wanted me out.
Following our interview with Riggsbee, WCNC Charlotte received a statement from the sheriff's office explaining their side of the event. The statement says Sheriff McFadden didn't like the format of the request, and it has nothing to do with changing any of the information inside. Riggsbee now out of the department.
I still remained hopeful and prayerful that, okay, maybe things will get better.
Hopeful others will speak out. Austin Walker, WCNC Charlotte.